things Logic. I'm Jeremy Hawes. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use the free third-party plugin by STL Tones. It's a free metal guitar plugin, amp sim, and cabinet and stuff. It's called the Ignite Emissary plugin. And the last video I showed you guys where you could go download the Ignite Emissary bundle and how to download it and how to install it. Okay, it's totally free, and you don't just get an amp sim, an amp head. Basically, you get the 6 free IRs with it, also called NAD-IR, which basically is an IR is a simulated like cab, like 412s, like speakers, your microphone and microphone placement. Okay. Because just like in the real world, you need your amp head and you need your lineup, like amp head first, and your speakers and your cabinet, all that, and your microphone placement. Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys where you can go find that in Logic once you've installed it, and how to line it up in the plugin chain, and also how to dial it in and get it to work together and spice it up, basically. So without further ado, let's get started. Yeah. Alright, so this is the project I actually laid down these tracks for this video, actually, just for this video. So, and I've got 4 guitar tracks here. I did 4 different takes, and of the same part of my song called Poor Me. I actually have already released it several times, but since I know the guitar parts pretty well, the whole thing, I thought I'd lay down those tracks today to kind of show you how the Emissary plugin works, okay? So real quick, let me put on the headphones here, and I'm going to give you a sample of what it sounds like when you have your Emissary amp head and your cabinet, the NAD-IR, NARD, it's called, whatever, IR, which is like the cabinets, speakers, microphone, all that set up together, and then a couple other plugins to spice it up, So anyways, let me hit play real quick and show you guys what you can get, especially when you start doubling your tracks left and right. Do one take, put it to the left ear, do another take as close as possible to the right ear, and then quad, do another one and another one, so you've got 4 all together, and it just makes your sound get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's pretty neat. So let me hit play for you. All right, so yeah, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to actually mute all these. Okay, we're going to mute these guys, and I'm going to go ahead and we are going to start with a new track. Okay, so I can show you how to start from the front, basically. So let's hit plus right here. All right, so we are first going to start with microline, and we're going to start with input 1. Okay, and if you're new to using audio interface and going direct in with your guitar and your audio interface, and then using amp sims and stuff, let me explain a little bit about your audio interface. Okay, so you want to go from your guitar direct into we're doing input 1 today on your audio interface with guitar plug. Okay, and now make sure, this is why I'm bringing this up. This is a little tricky sometimes, is because it will say one thing on your recording DAW, but you've got to change something on you don't want the same on your audio interface. When you go direct in your audio interface, you want to switch your switch there from mic or line over to instrument. Make sure it's on instrument, either if it's a button you push in or a button you toggle over. Okay, even though it's a little confusing, even though you'll say instrument on your audio interface and microline here, because there's a microline on your audio interface. So it's a little different. It might throw you off, because at the beginning when I first started, I would get those wrong because I thought they had to match up or something. That's just what the brain kind of does. So remember to switch your direct, if you're going in direct with guitar or bass, to switch it to instrument. Unless you're using a direct box and then you're doing an XLR cable into there, then you can switch switch it to microline. But okay, and another thing is, since Logic Pro has a level meter or a VU meter, it comes with one, a stock one that's pretty good. You can check to make sure you're not peaking the signal. If you don't want to peak your signal and clip it, and it'll cause digital distortion, and that's no good. You can't use that. It won't react. It will sound bad with your plugins. And unfortunately, when you clip your signal, you got to just start all over again. You can't fix that. But if it's a little too quiet, you can turn that signal up. So, but if you're not going to use a VU meter or something, if you're just flying off the, just going with what you've got, definitely this is the way I go about doing, making sure it's not clipping. At least is I'll play my guitar as loud as as hard as I'm going to be picking it, and with my left hand I'll grab the input 1, the volume there, and I'll turn that up so it's in the green with the signal until it starts to peak in the red. And then as I'm picking, I'll turn that down just so it's not going in the red anymore at all. You don't want it to touch the red at all, just a little bit below that. And that's a really good spot to start with, okay? As long as that's not peaking the red, you're pretty much safe. But still, some guitars, some audio interfaces are a little different, and some recording DAWs are different. So you never know. So it's always good to use a level meter or VU meter. I've got a free third-party plugin that I use once in a while called MV Meter 2, and you can use that. But I think Logic Pro comes with a really great stock VU meter or level meter, and I'll show you where you can find that and stuff like that. But anyways, I'll have another video showing you how to use that, because you want to use that as you're laying down your first signal. Make sure that's not too hot, you're not clipping, and then when you start adding in your plugins, you want to make sure those are at a certain dBs, that aren't clipping the signal also, because when you put plugins on, they can be too loud sometimes, and they'll clip there also, not just your regular signal, your clean signal from your direct in, So it's just good to learn how to use one of those. So anyways, we're going to go with microline and input 1, and we're going to hit create. All right, so this is gonna be, whoops, let me move that up there. There we go. All right, so one thing I always do is I always, sorry, I just bumped the camera, I think I always do is I'll change this to a guitar, so you can actually left click on, let's do this. Okay, so you can right click on this little wave right here, and you can go up to guitar, and you can pick a guitar out that you might want. I have guitars there. I like this guitar, SG it looks like. So, and then I also like to do this is I'll right click on it, on the area right here, right click on there, go down to sign track color, and then I'll change this to red. I like to use red for guitar tracks, okay? And so as you can see, these are all red already, okay? So anyways, now we've got that done, and then I like to always name it, even though these are actually, I forgot to name these separate, but it's always good to name it too, but I won't do that today. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, so all right, so let me put that away. All right, now we've got this. We've got a clean this is your plugin chain right here, okay? So if this isn't there, if you don't see that there, just hit I on your keyboard, or you can click on this little inspector window. Okay, icon right there, and that will bring up your plugin, your track, your input and output of that track. Okay, so all right, so next we're gonna go down to here, and we're gonna see these little arrows here. You're gonna left click on that, and that's gonna bring up this window here. And if you haven't seen the video where to go and download this free Ignite Emissary plugin, or bundle actually, I have a video. It should be out before this one that you can go check. It will show you where to go and download that for free, and also how to install it. Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys where you can find it in your plugins, and how to use it, how to set it up correctly. So go down to, if you've done that already, make sure after you've installed it to quit Logic Pro if you have it open and start it over again. You might even want to do that with your computer sometimes, and so that will make sure that it's working and it's here. Then you're going to go down to audio units. You're going to go to STL tones, and going to go over to Ignite Emissary. There we are. There's our Emissary plugin. Okay, it looks just like an amp head because that's what it is. Okay, and what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to copy this signal, and drop it up here so we have a clean signal to work with. Okay, cool. So got that. And let me turn this off real quick and just give you an idea what it sounds like before there's any amp, any plugins on it. That's just a clean signal direct in. And so you can check your signals. I have another video, I'm sure, out there. I don't know if it's out yet, but it will be soon. How to use a level meter or VU meter, and the stock one that comes with Logic. But just today, I'll go ahead and I'm not going to show you how to use it completely. I'm just going to show you kind of how it works and where you can find it. So go down to this and left click on that area, and we're going to go down to metering, and you're going to go to level meter mono. Click on that. There is your VU meter. It usually like a it usually has guys like this, little hands that do this, okay? The old school ones. And we're going to go and see it says peak. That's going to let us know what the peak is. But I always like to go down to peak and RMS. So it shows your RMS and your peak at the same time. And RMS is kind of where your signal's at all the time. And peak is where the highest it goes up to it. And you'll want to use this when you're laying down your first track, when you plug in, to make sure that you're at not peaking or it's not too quiet. That's in the sweet spot, they call it. And with this level meter, I like to get with just the signal, I like to get anywhere from between -6 and -10. It leaves you a lot of headroom to work with, okay? So in the RMS around 22, 20 to the 18. That's what you'll want that at. Let's see where I'm at with this. Let me hit play and we'll see real quick with that. All right, golden. That's exactly where I want to be. And it's good to check. You see that you can check your whole track, or at least after you record it, and because you want through the whole track, you make sure that it doesn't go past. You don't want it too far past -6. I mean, it's okay if it goes a little past that, but you just want to leave some room to work with. Okay, some headroom they call it. So okay, so now we know that's golden. RMS is good. Peak is good. And so we'll put this aside there, and okay, now I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Emissary plugin, and I'll get it. This is just amp head, so it's got no. It's going to be a little loud and a little fuzzy sounding, or a little, you'll see. So you can see the difference between what these guys sounded like at the beginning and that does just by itself. Okay, so first off, you've got all your different knobs here. You got clean channel here, but we're doing red channel, second channel, what you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. And so that clean channel is these right here, and then clean master, and then these two. Okay. Red channel, your gain channel is right here over, and then this over also, okay? So, and then also the bright here is a bright switch, that's for your clean, and this bright's for the gain, and deep is for the gain, and the shape is for the gain, I believe. So anyways, and it's not, you can start shaping the tone now, but you really kind of want to add your other plugin on with that, your cab simulator, or your cab and microphone placement microphone, so which comes with the bundle. So we're going to go ahead and do that before we start shaping this tone at all. But I'm going to show you how this works a little more, because there's a bunch of presets that you can go with to kind of get an idea what you like first, or you can just do it yourself. And but before that, I'm going to hit play again. I'm going to use the level meter to see where it's at now with this on, to see if we're still golden. Just a little bit quieter than the signal, just a little bit quieter, so you can actually, if you want to, but it's good, we can leave it where it's at. Everything's fine here. So because when you start turning up your mids, or turning up your different volumes, it's going to change the level anyway. So this is all, it's at a really good level where it's at right now. So next we're going to go to right below it, and we're going to left click on those little arrows. We're going to go down to audio unit, and this is the second one, that second plugin that comes with that that free bundle. Okay, it's right here called Ignite NAD-IR. All right, there it is. There is your cabinet microphone and microphone placement. You know, down the center, 45 degrees. You know, you got off axis, that kind of stuff. So, and what's cool about this one over other IRs and cab simulators and all that is that you actually get choice of doing two at the same time. So you can, and so you got one on your left ear, one on your right ear, or however you want to say that, and then you can balance it between the two with this. Okay, you can have more of this sound and more of this, you know, these speakers or this, you know. And as you can see right here, they've got, you know, 412s V30 speakers. You got your Shure SM57, which is a classic amp microphone and guitar acoustic and other things like that. You've got the, you know, classic 441U. And also with the SM57, you've got a center off axis. Same with the 441U is center off axis. And then you've got your Sennheiser down here, 421, 45 degree angle and center. Okay, and then you got all 6 of them over here. Remember I said it comes with 6 free different cabinets, so you can use whatever you want on this side and this side. Okay, and then you've got your gain for each of these cabinets right here. And I'll hit play real quick, and you're going to hear it's a lot quieter. It might even not sound that great at first, but we're going to dial it in from here. Okay, so I'm going to hit play real quick. Now we've got both those going. A lot quieter. See the VU meter? So we want to definitely first off, and I'm not going to go ahead and set the gain yet till I find a tone I like, because each time I change it, it's going to change the gain on these, just to let you know. But we want to bring this back up to at least, you know, -6 or -7, where it was at, -7, -6, around there. Okay, so, but first off, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go and we're going to find, we're going to go to this manual here, and we're going to go down to, it says manual, and go down to AU presets, and this is where you can go around and check different presets. Okay, and I really like the Friedman Classic. That's a very popular one. Or where is there? German Pear is cool. The Friedman Round's a little bit cool. Modern's okay, and then you actually got some clean. No, they're all, these are, it doesn't matter, these speakers, but I mean, I'm thinking about the other one. Okay, yeah, so Friedman Classic we're going to use, and I'm going to click on that, and we're going to hit play. Yeah, I like that. See how it naturally already puts, it balanced it to the, that's how it's preset, so it has it there, has all these preset for you. I'm going to turn up the gain now. Let me just move around a little bit more with a couple different presets. I like the German pair right here. Go with that for now, okay? Let's see. Let's mess with this. The balance. See what this. All right. Down here you have your high pass, low pass, your resonance, and delay. The delay sounds horrible, as you're going to see real quick. It doesn't. I mean, it might work for some things. Okay, you got your room. It's like a reverb almost. And you got your high pass, resonance. First off, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to turn up the gain a little bit. Okay, we're going to turn up the gain to about, I know this is a good area for it, about 4. +4 on each. Okay. Close enough. Let me hit play again. Watch the VU meter. That's right where we want to be around, okay? Alright. Still good. Alright, so I'm going to mess with these. Check this out. You're going to hear... there, okay? So yeah, so now we've got that kind of dialed in. We're going to dial this in a little bit more. So I'm going to jump around. And another thing I want to show you real quick is you can, if you like the presets here, or whatever you've done to the preset after you've turned up the gain and everything, you want to keep that. You can hit save, and I don't know if it's store, but hit save. I know that will work. And watch this. Then you'll type in the name of it, and then when you hit save, it'll keep it for you, and you always can go back and load that later. Okay. All right. Same with the amp head too. The Emissary amp here. You can do the same thing with that also. How did that get that low down? That's crazy. Hold on a minute, player. Oh, because I messed with some of the other settings. Refresh it. Okay, that's good. All right, so now we're gonna go and we're gonna dial in our amp head now. Okay, now we got the cabinet set up the way we want, and you can do it the opposite order too, or you can do it however you want. But let's do this. Let's hit play real quick. Now we can dial it in here. Change the shape of it. Or you guys can go. We can go up here. Or you can go up and we can go to the presets with this, okay? So let me hit play and we're gonna go mess around with these. Let me show you the presets real quick. Go down to AU presets, and here are the different presets here, okay? You've got your clean preset, your crunch preset, and then you've got your different gain presets, okay? Hit play. I like that. I like that. Bass. You see this clean. You got your crunch. I like that. We'll go with that. Okay, and then here you can do the same thing. You can save it right here and save it. I can do that because I've already actually saved some there. Okay, so we got that. Let's see where we're at with our volume again, with our level meter. Okay, cranked it up a little bit. So I'm gonna turn down my gain a little bit just because I don't want too much gain in my. Too much mids. Actually, too many highs. Actually, I liked what we had there. Let me go back. What I'll do is I'll just turn down the master lead a little bit. Or you can turn down the output right here. That's good. Alright, so now so we're slowly dialing in the sound here, okay? So so now we've got those set. We like what those sound like. We can actually go and start adding in other plugins to dial it in. Okay, and I'm going to show you again real quick what it sounds like and then you can start stacking tracks too. Now I knew this song pretty well, so I actually recorded it without any amp sim on it. I just recorded this plain signal right here. Okay, just a signal by itself. And when you're recording guitars, metal guitars, or any guitars, you really want to at least put an amp sim on there. Or if you got a live amp and you're tracking, you use a direct box. so you can hear what it sounds like. So if it's a metal song, you're using metal distortion. You got to have it up to a certain amount, and so you can play the song right. Because if you're playing a clean song and it's or a distortion song or distorted song, and and you're playing with just a signal, you're not going to always play it right. But I already knew this song really well, so I was able to do that anyways, just for the sake of this video. But so what you can do is go in there and just really quick throw some plugins on there, either the Emissary or the stock plugins, and change that later. Just don't bake it on there, so you have that clean signal, and then you can just change the signal, any plugins you want later on, and fine tune it instead of getting stuck there all day trying to do it before you record it. Just get it on there, record, and then fine tune your sound, okay? Because you'll get stuck all day just sitting there before you record it. All day, I'm talking about days. It happens to me. So anyways, next way to shape the sound is, I've got with these ones, I'm going to show you real quick. You're going to hear a big difference here. These I have noise gates, compressors. That doesn't really do much to the tone. It doesn't do anything to the tone. Limiter, but the EQ has a big part in the tone, okay? So definitely we're going to put that next, but let me show you real quick, again, especially when you start doubling and quadding your guitars. Big sound. Okay, so you see what you can actually achieve with this. And still, I'm not done there yet. I mean, we don't have bass guitar. We have no bass end. It's a little trebly. It's a little bright, but we can fix that. It's because of the EQ. I think I have too much bright in the EQ, too many highs and mids in that. But anyways, and another thing that's a trick to do with these is what I've done with each one of these is I've changed the cab on each one of these, or I've changed the EQ. So they're all separate EQs, so it slightly changes each tone. Let me show you what I mean real quick. And that will get your sound even wider, even bigger sounding. If you got it exactly sounding all the same, because you like that, how it sounds, that one guitar, it's your favorite, I like to do that. I'll be like, wait, this is the tone I like. I'm keeping it for all of them. Well, it still sounds big when you start quadding them, but still, if you actually change up, like if you're recording live and you change your microphone, or you change the cab you're using, or the amp head, or you change the setting, or change the EQs on your amp, as you're laying down these tracks, you'll get a bigger and bigger sound each time you do it, okay? So you kind of got to go in and change up the sound a little bit. Even though you like the sound of one, you got to change up the sound to get a bigger sound. Let me show you what I mean real quick. This is the... See the difference? Big difference, huh? I'll have to turn that up, but I think I have the limiter set wrong on there. It's a big difference when you do that. It really gives it some awesome sound. So let me go ahead and take these off now. And so anyways, we're back on this track now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add an EQ to this to kind of spice it up a little bit. In another video, I'll show you guys the whole your whole plug-in chain for your electric guitar, for direct guitars, that is, because each plug-in chain is different. If you're doing a live recording of your amp, you're gonna have a different plug-in chain. But for now, what you're gonna want is you're gonna want a noise gate, you're gonna want a compressor, you're gonna want an EQ, you want a limiter, you're gonna want all that stuff, even more, maybe 2 EQs on it, maybe 2 compressors on it, depending on what you're after. Okay, and what you're doing, direct or live or what, reamping, whatever. But just for now, because we're not going to get into that, that's going to take a while because you have to dial in each one of those, and it's a whole process in itself, learning each plugin. But today we're going to go to an EQ, so I can kind of show you what you can do with an EQ. It's amazing what EQ it's the most underrated tone shaping thing. Everyone thinks it's in the amp head or in the speakers or that. Yeah, that shapes the part of the tone you want, but you really can clean up and really spice up something with the EQ. Just with the EQ alone, it's crazy. So we're going to go and we're going to grab EQ channel, EQ right here, okay? And so let me turn it off and hit play and turn it back on. not going to hear much difference, okay? But now we're going to go in, we're going to mess with some of the presets, okay? Instead of doing this by myself one at a time, because that can take a lot of time unless you know what you're doing here. So they've got presets. So watch this. I'll play it and we'll go through and we'll do the presets so you can hear what it sounds like as I change the presets up. It's pretty sick. So do it now here. Go down to guitar. So you can hear me, let me stop a little bit. Let me show you real quick. I should have showed you guys this first. So you'll left click on this default preset area, go down to guitar, and then, whoops, bring that over here. And now there's acoustic. We're not on acoustic, acoustic, bass, classic guitar improved. These are the ones we're going to mess with. Guitar, classic guitar improved, clean up guitar, possibly electric funk guitar, just so you can hear the guitar sweetener, pick guitar, pick electric guitar, and push and pull guitar. Those are the ones we're gonna mess with right now. Okay, so let me hit play. Start at the bottom. Big difference. Nice redo. Cool. Whoa! That's loud. Guitar. This is one of my favorite right here. Classic guitar move. Okay. I'm gonna roll off the highs a little bit. There's a lot of mids or a lot of highs. It's really kind of trebly. It's little bright, I should say, more like so. You might want to just do that with one. If you get some more tracks going, change it up to make sure that they're not all bright like that. Because you can hear when I'm playing all of them, it's a little bright. I got to change the EQs up a little bit, or change the mids, the high mids. So we're gonna. This one right here is a little less midi. Or high, treble, I'm sorry, I keep mixing those up. Guitar, and I really like this one too, but it's because my hearing is going, my highs and lows are going, so I really like trebly stuff, but I know it's killing other people's ears. They're like, stop it. Let's try this one. That's cool. Yeah. Alright, so and you can actually stack your EQs. You can do another EQ after it and see what let's do that real quick. Another separate EQ, channel EQ, and we're gonna go hit play. And the one thing is, that's pretty cool. See what it did there? Cool. Still a lot of mid, a lot of highs. I mean, let me pull that down. Yeah, you can start stacking them. You can actually put your EQs just about anywhere you want. You can do it after the signal, in between these two, your amp and your cabinet. It's not preferred, but you can do anything you really want. And remember one thing when you're doing this is like the first stages of mixing, basically. And you want to leave yourself headroom. So when you're using EQs and you're pumping up certain places and taking stuff down, it's going to shove up the volume a little bit. Anything that sounds loud sounds better. Not so much it's better, or sounds better. It's not. It doesn't mean it's better though. Just because it's louder, it's just to us it sounds better. But remember when you start quadding, and I left out another thing, but we'll get that in just a second. When you want to make sure that you compensate for the extra EQs you're pumping up. Okay, so make sure use that level meter down here again, and make sure that when you bypass it by turning these off, it's kind of in the same spot. Okay. As your how it was before you put the EQs on there. So let's turn these off real quick and let me show you what I mean. see it's still with all these off. It's actually a little bit quieter, the signal. That's okay that we're adding a little volume. That's what happens when you add. See, that's around, but we're not much louder with these two on. Okay, so it's okay to add a little volume as you're adding plugins. You just don't want to add too much. You want to leave some room. Okay, we'll crank it way up with a limiter. I'll show you that another day. And your compressor, it might bring it up a little bit, even though I'll explain that later. But you don't want it to change too much though, okay? But let's see what it is with one of these on real quick. Watch that. See how much that jumped? So I'm gonna grab this. Refresh that. That's okay. That. We'll keep with that. We'll go with that. That's taking a lot out. Okay, but remember, you got to refresh this on your level meter. Click on that in the RMS and the peak while it's playing, or every time you reset it or restart your thing, because they'll get stuck at the last one it was at. Okay, so you just got to refresh it. It's called. So let's add the other one on now. Okay. Yeah. Drop this in. All right, good. That's good. See, it sounds good. A little bit trebly, like I said, but once you start adding all these together, and then you get your bass guitar in there, and then you got your drums, your vocals, it's gonna sound really good together. Like I said, a little trebly though. I'll fix that later. But and I know it's probably even worse for you, because there's one thing is when I can't hear anything with those on. It really cuts out the sound. These things are awesome. I love these headphones. Anyways, what happens is I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, treble. So when you start to, if you're like me, I've been playing 30 plus years, longer than that actually, and I've had a drummer behind me crashing their cymbals. I've had guitar amps going wee, PAs wee. So I lost a lot of my hearing over time, and at first you don't lose volume of your hearing, you lose highs and lows. Think of it, there's like a meter here, and you got your highs, lows, and your mids, okay? And when you start to lose your hearing, you start actually just lose your highs and lows, okay? And then everything starts to sound MIDI, and then your volume start losing volume. And the way there's a good way to kind of figure out if you're losing your hearing a little bit, or losing your highs and lows anyways, is if when you get into a car, and you go automatically to the stereo, and if it's just all the way across, all the EQs are across, when you're messing with the EQs in your car stereo, and you start to change that, and you bring up your highs and your lows, and then you take down the mid, so there's kind of like a V that's starting, that's you losing your highs and lows there, okay? Because yeah, I hate to say it, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's true. What happens is when you're a child and you got great hearing, that would sound good to you with all the EQs exactly straight across. You wouldn't need to change that. It would just stock. It would sound good just how it is. And as you change those, as you get older, to make it sound better, so it doesn't sound all MIDI to you. If it sounds MIDI to you and it's all the way across, then you're losing your highs and lows a little bit. It's okay. As we get older, it happens no matter what. But just be careful. You only get one set of ears, and you don't get anything back. There's no fixing. There's no fixing it, unfortunately. I've done some damage. So, and one other thing that creep you out a little bit, sorry, but it will. That little sound you get? That's your swan song. That's a swan song. That's that tone, or that frequency is dying. You'll never get that back. That's why for a second after that ringing, it gets kind of like you're deaf in that ear for a second, and then it goes away. Like sounds like your ear's plugged up after that. Sorry guys, can't stand them. They're attracted to my light. Got a lot of bugs out here. Anyways, so screw it, I'll get them later. But yeah, that's what's happening is a swan song. It's and then all of a sudden it feels like there's something in your ear, like it's plugged. That's because you just lost that frequency, and it all of a sudden, and then you, after a little while, your both ears get normal again. That's just you getting used to that part being gone. Deaf. It's creepy, crazy. Sorry to do that to you, but it's true. Anyways, yeah. So, and one other thing, I think I forgot what I was gonna say again. I always do this. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was something about. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we basically got this dialed in. We got this. Well, it doesn't matter. It probably does, but nothing important. Like, we got all the important stuff done here. Yeah. So, anyways, this is really good here. This is kind of like this is what you're gonna go for. Is you kind of want. Oh yeah. So this this right here is good. -6.7. Or whatever, as long as you're not too close to -3, you're golden. Okay, you want to leave yourself headroom for mixing later. Okay, when you've got your bass and your drums and your vocals, especially, and all that stuff going on, and you're mixing your stuff. You don't want. You need some headroom for all your different instruments, so it's good to leave some headroom for your guitars for adding other plugins later. So always, leave some room. You can turn it up. You can go, you can be at -5, -4. You're still okay. You can throw a limiter on there, and I'll show you guys how to use a compressor, limiter, and a noise gate and all that stuff later on. Another video. It's a longer process, and it's kind of in depth. But you definitely want to learn how to use all that stuff. Mixing's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun work. Okay. And once you've got it, you can really make your stuff. You can tell the difference between people that know know how to mix and don't. It's night and day. When it might not be just noticeable on one track or one guitar track like this, but it will when you add your whole thing together and you're listening to it as like a finished product. And you got to mix all your stuff right for the finished product to work with all the different devices that you're going to want to play it through for other people, when they listen to it on YouTube or their Spotify or whatever. And if you don't leave that headroom and mix and you know how to use your compressor and all that stuff, then you're gonna notice a difference. It's gonna sound muddy. There's things that are gonna sound louder than others. You're not gonna be able to fix it. And I'll definitely make some videos coming. I have some videos coming up that are coming out to show you guys how to mix. Okay. And it's a process, but it's a fun process, okay? And it's something that you never stop learning, okay? It just goes on forever. It's a trip. So you just keep getting better, at it. And so anyway, it's a lot of fun again, like I said. But yeah, and oh yeah, this is what I kept forgetting earlier. I was, it doesn't matter. This is really cool, okay? Okay, so now we've got all that done. Let's go ahead and put this away. So, cool. So we got that done. You know how to use the Emissary plugin and all that stuff. I just want to give you a heads up that and I'll make another video on this, but there's other things that are really, if you do not like this plugin right here, this cab, like it's not enough for you, because it's you can actually use other plugins because you want. That's a great metal amp head right here, the Emissary. For free, it's totally great. It might not sound like that much by itself and stuff, but mixed with the right things and the right plugins and mixed right well and all that and lined up well, you can really get some cool sounds out of this. A lot of people use this. And so what I mean is if you do not like this cabinet simulator and thing, remember that they have stock plugins. They've got, go down here, they have amps and pedals here. You can go to your amp designer here, and you don't want to use an amp on top of an amp right here like this and this, okay? That just, it's going to sound bad no matter what you do. But and you do not want a cabinet on top of a cabinet either. So you don't want this also. Let me get them all out here. You don't want this and this going at the same time. But what you can do, this is a really cool trick. And I'll show you in another video how to dial it in, but I just want to just throw it out there real quick so you can mess around with it a little bit. You can actually turn this off and or get rid of it or whatever, and you can and then what you can do is you can go to this and you can go down here and go over to amp right here under there and go down to transparent preamp. All right, and then kind of set all these guys to about to noon, and turn off your reverb for now, and presence you can turn down a little bit, and master's a little loud, but we'll deal with that later. Turn it down a little bit. Okay, so now you've got that. So what you're doing now is you've just got, you basically, it's still a preamp, still got its own tones and stuff, but now you've kind of taken out the extra oomph from there, and you've got your amp here, and you're bypassing this basically, and you're using the speakers here. So if you don't like the speaker setup here, or you'd like to see the visual, whatever, you can use the stock plugins with Logic. So basically what you can do now is you can go find some 12s or whatever you want. I like British 12s or vintage British 12s or the American modern American, okay? And then also they've got the Sennheiser 421 like they do over here. They've got the SM57 right here. And they've got a bunch of different ones that are really popular ones, and then you also can place your mic where you want. Okay, I do have a video showing you how to use the stock amp designer and cabinets and your pedal boards. Check it out, my All Things Logic channel, and I'll show you how to dial all that in. But yeah, so if you don't like this sound, you can try to use this and see if that works with it. Okay, and then dial this in, dial that in. You can spend a lot of time doing that. And then there's one other really awesome, my favorite one to use out of all these is not this or this, okay? Not this or this. I like to, let me turn off that amp, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that now. I'm going to keep this one there, but just so we, now the next one is, this is a gold, I think it is personally, is we're going to go down to reverb. I know this sounds funny, but watch this. Go down to reverb and go over to Space Designer. Click on Space Designer, okay? Okay, you're wondering, okay, wait, reverb. Well, where's the cabinet and the speaker cabinet, same, yeah, cabinet speakers and the microphone and stuff. Well, we're gonna go over and we're gonna see this. We're gonna go to presets. We're gonna go down to warped effects, and we're gonna go down over to speakers right here. Okay, then we're gonna go up here and we're gonna choose speaker cabinet 1. Okay, and let me put this on and show you what I mean real quick. There's several. It's got like, I don't know how many would it say. It's got these are just speakers. It's got 21 different speaker combinations, and with changing up your EQs again, when you do this, you're going to want to change those. You're going to change all your different plugins. So it can take a while, but you can actually find, if you don't like the cabinet or you don't like the other one I just showed you using the plug-in cabinet or the NAD-IR cabinets or simulator or whatever, you can actually go here and find some cabinets. Pretty sick. Okay, I just wanted to show you that real quick. I will show you guys how to dial this in, all these things, because you got to have all this right, all this stuff you want to make sure is going the right, and it takes a while. So I'll have another video showing you how to dial in this Space Designer. Okay, it's pretty sick. Okay, but remember, you don't want to have, this is basically a cabinet now and speaker and microphone, and you don't want to have this on and the amp on and all that stuff, because it's not meant to be like that together. You can do whatever you want, but it's not going to turn out good that way. Okay, so you can find whatever one works best for you, and I just wanted to throw those out there because might as well, since we're on the subject. So again, real quick, let me do this. That's what you can get with it. You can get some cool sounds, So, you need to play it again. So yeah, a lot of fun. I will actually add some bass in. I'll have another video showing you guys how to set up a bass guitar signal chain, and I'll also show you where you can go get some free bass amp heads and cabinets downloads also. And because they do have some really good bass amp designer on here, and I have another video coming out soon showing you how to use that. But I will have one showing you where you can go download some free bass, amp heads and cabinets and all that, and really dial in your song. Okay. And I think I just put out some videos on drums. So like, I'll show you guys how to take your session drummer, which is kind of like a live loops. Like it changes while it's playing. You can change the beat, the genre, the drum kit, all that. And then I have another video showing how to change that, convert that over to MIDI. Because once it's in MIDI, you can go and actually add in some rolls or take out some pieces you didn't like from the the session drummer, because it'll do a lot, but it just won't do everything. So when it's a MIDI, you can go in and you change the velocity of your hits. You can change everything. You can take out what you want, add in what you want. And plus, then I'll show you guys in another video, it should be out already, called the multi-channel output kits. Okay, so I'll show you from MIDI from there. Then you can take that drum kit, change it to any drum kit you want, then change it to multi-channel kits, output kits it's called, I believe. And from there, you can actually drop down all the different drum pieces. And whatever makes those drum kits in here, these drum kits here, that sound that you've got when you're checking out the drums here. Let me go. I gotta do another track to show you guys real quick, but yeah, same MIDI instruments right here. Okay, so we're over here. There's your drum kits, and whatever makes these sounds up that you like, that you know, whatever kit you like. In the multi-channel kit, you can actually go and they're all made up already baked in, but then you can actually go and change. There's like a microphone for the top of the snare, there's a microphone for the bottom, there's a microphone for the kick in, the kick out, you got sub microphone, you got distortion, you've got all your toms, you got overhead microphones for your crashes and your kind of your toms, and it just goes on. Every single thing you can think of, it's got reverb baked in that you can actually now change, so you can fine tune each drum kit to your genre, to your song, to your project, to a T. Okay, and then I have another video I'll be showing you guys how to actually go and change drum pieces each to mix and match. Like say Bluebird, you like a certain snare from there, but you like a kick from Detroit drums, and you like toms from Manchester, and you like cymbals from SoCal. You can go and mix and match each one, and then besides all that stuff, you can actually change the tuning of each. Like say you like a certain snare, but you want to tune it down, like tuning forks, you can tune it up. You can turn up just its gain or turn down, or you can dampen it. It's sick. As you're playing, you can change them out. You know, playing on here, it's so much fun. I'll have that coming out soon. It should already be out actually. You can check it out, and all the different drum stuff. And I do have a playlist too. You can check it out on my channel, All Things Logic. I know I've been talking forever. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm Jeremy Hawes. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. That leaves it wide open. Yeah. See you guys. You guys are awesome.